Alright. Let's finish this franchise, man. Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn. 2021. The remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. Let's do this. I don't know what to think of this movie. I will say, though, it is better than 5 and 6. Right off the bat. Maybe even better than 3. Yeah, better than 5, 6, 3. It's better than most of the original movies, okay? They went for a whole reboot thing. There's no redneck inbred cannibals. There's one act of cannibalism in this film, and there's one mention towards the end where they say that the boys want to watch redneck inbred cannibal movies. Other than that, it's different. So the story follows a group of people hiking through the woods. They take a wrong turn, and they end up as victims of this society called the Foundation. Now, this was written by Alan B. McElroy, who wrote the original Wrong Turn, and directed by Mike P. Nelson. So, the original writer wrote this, and it's nothing like the original film. That being said, the first part of this film is just... I know some people are going to say it's woke bullshit, but no. But there's a lot of nonsense with this. Oh, hey, that you got these characters, and they're making fun of these people for no reason whatsoever. They have no reason to make fun of these people, but they do. And then they're said, hey, don't go off the path. And what's the first thing they do? Hey, I want to show you this thing. It's off the path. They told you not to go off the path. The main character even says they said not to go off the path. And the guy's like, oh, come on. It's like, Jen is our main character's name. And we're presented with this at the beginning of the film. Her father, Scott, played by Matthew Modine, is searching for her. And that plays out throughout the film. At some point, you get to the beginning of the film, and then once everything goes down, you get him coming back to try to find her. That being said, it starts to pick up when they wake up the next day and their cell phones are gone. Remember that. Their cell phones are gone. And then one of the guy's girlfriends is missing. So they go to look for her, and they come across these two guys wearing deer heads. And they threatened Adam. He fell into the trap, and they were going to carry him away. And he attacks and kills one of them. So then they are eventually... But then they find out that the girlfriend wasn't taken, and she's just fine. And at this point, I'm thinking, she's in on it. She wasn't, but I thought she was. And he's all like, oh, I said I'd never leave her behind, but then she falls in a pit and gets spiked. With these, skewered with these spikes, and he's like, okay, I'm done. And he leaves her behind. So I don't know what the point of that. I said I wouldn't leave her again, but he does anyway because she's all skewered, and then she gets killed. They are eventually captured and taken in and put in this court. And there we get the first of the bullshit. Alright? So the other guy that was with the guy that got murdered says that they found Adam in one of their traps, and he was going to bring him back to the campsite where they were. I call bullshit. Why were their phones missing? According to them, they were meaning them no harm, but their phones were missing. And I also call bullshit on their phones missing because there was a snowstorm with barely, I guaranteed, that they were barely asleep because of the rainstorm. I say snowstorm? The rainstorm, the thunderstorm. I guarantee you they barely got much sleep. How could anyone have snuck in and stolen their phones? It makes no sense. And also, they say, oh, we were going to return him to you, and we weren't going to hurt anyone. But why was one of your guys... You have people in town. Now, the girl and her daughter, not so much, you know. But there was a guy watching them and, like, standing by their car. You were setting up for something. And he was sent to watch people, you know, that might be sketchy. But you took their phones. You took their cell phones. And I guess it's better than, oh, we're out of signal. I guess. But if you took their cell phones, then if you weren't meaning to hurt them, then why did you take their cell phones? It makes no sense. But Adam gets murdered in the same way he murdered the other guy. And then their one friend, their Hispanic friend, goes missing, and she finds him later. But so Jen decides to stay there. She offers herself to their leader, Bearable, I think his name is, or Brannable, whatever, Brannable, whatever, Bannable, whatever, I don't care. And she offers herself to him and to be part of the, you know. And my interpretation of this was that, because they allow Darius, who is her boyfriend, to stay with them. So my interpretation is they would be together and they would live among these people. But no, this Venable is like, you will be my wife. And I'm like, what? If you had that dude watching them, you obviously know they're a couple. And you're just going to be selfish to know you're my wife. And he has to just deal with what? I mean, that would suck. Absolutely suck, dude. Your girlfriend is now married to this dude you don't even know. So then we cut to her dad trying to find them. And he stops at the diner and he's warned by the lady, you know. She tells him where they are, but then he's attacked by these locals. And the next day he's all ready to go, and she offers some help. Now he gets help from this guy and his son Cooper. And they go up to the mountain because he can track, you know, he's like, oh, I know how to, you know, figure out these traps. But then he and his son both die because they didn't see a trap. It's just an excuse to get him alone, because they both get killed in one shot. And I'm just like, really, we gotta do this. Really, why can't he have help? Because that's the thing about backwards movies. Okay, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna save your daughter. They're taken out and he's all alone. And now he's been captured and thrown in with them. And this is where I find this earlier stuff to be bullshit. They say for trespassing, they're going to punish him by burning his eyes out. For trespassing. For just being in the woods. He's going to get punished. So I seriously doubt they were just going to return Adam back to the rest of them. I seriously doubt that. And it appears as if Jen is on the Foundation side, but then she shows up and rescues her dad. And then she comes across Darius, who says he won't tattle on them, but he's not coming with them. He wants to stay with the society, which, okay, sure. So they start to get away, but of course people are following them, and they murder. But there's some good kills in here. Good, you know, one shot with an arrow or an axe. Pretty good kills, I gotta say. And then they are found by the townspeople, the ones that attacked him. Of course, he, you know, attacked the dad. Of course, he doesn't believe them. But he's like, we're here to help you. And then a couple of them get dispatched right away. Get killed by the Foundation. I'm like, here we go again. We're here to save you. And every single one of them are going to get killed, except for the main two characters. But no, actually, two of these townspeople are still alive when they throw a Molotov cocktail so that fire comes between Venable and the rest of them, and they drive off, and you think it's safe. A small amount of time later, Jen is now working with her father as part of the architectural firm. And this is when she mentions that the boys want to watch a redneck cannibal movie, which the boys are her half brothers because her dad remarried. And so she goes back to the house, and that's when bullshit number 2 comes in. Somehow, Venable has found them. And he's sitting there with the little girl from earlier. And I'm like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I hate this. I hate this kind of ending. Like, oh, you're safe, but no, all of a sudden, even though we have no idea where you live, the only thing I can think of is that they tortured Darius until he gave up where she lived. And so he's probably dead. It's the only thing I can think of. Because he said he wouldn't tattle, so it's obvious that they went to Darius, they tortured him, and that's how they found him. They never mention this, but he's there, supposedly being a new neighbor moving down the street. And then we get this awesome scene where she jumps in, she tries to kill him, shows up with a knife. Oh, actually they reveal that she's pregnant, and then she shows up with a knife, tries to kill him, but he kills her family, and then she jumps on, stabs him in the head. I was like, fuck yeah. It was in her head. Never happened. And you get this awesome kill scene, and nope, didn't happen. Was in her head, false ending. And then, so she makes a deal. I will go with you because she's pregnant with his child. How do you know that? She's like, it is my child. No. Could be Darius's. Doesn't have to be yours. Yes, I know you have had sex with her, but so did Darius before they found him. I know it's been an indeterminate amount of time when they were captured and when the dad found them, but I guarantee it could be either one. I'm saying it could be either one is what I'm saying. He cannot guarantee that as his child as a blood test. But she relents to go with them. And so she gets in their little trailer and they drive off. And you think, okay, that's it. I'm like, that's how you're going to end it. It even says wrong turn. But then, surprise, Sydney, we got stuff in the credits. Because all of a sudden they're driving away and it tilts and hits a tree. And Jen comes out, she kills a couple of the members of the Foundation and walks with the little girl, and the rest of the credits just her walking into the camera, basically. So there could be a sequel. We're not seeing that Venable. We don't see that Venable is one of the dead. He could be unconscious. Who knows? We don't see him die, so there could be in a sequel. I also thought that a sequel idea is that, like I said, the child is not Venable's, but Darius's, and he finds out that she's pregnant, and there's a chance it might be his, and he comes after her. Or they can do that in the sequel, where Venable is still coming after her because she's pregnant, or she has the baby by the beginning of the next one, and then Darius, but it comes out black. And that's how it's Darius's kid. But Venable still wants to take it for the Foundation because he believes it is his property. Or he'll say, you give me the child, I will leave you alone, even though it's not his. And then Darius has to, man up and finally, stop being a bitch and defend his child and his woman. Because, Darius is presented as her boyfriend, but then once they get there, he just lets Venable have his way with her, and it is, I'm gonna stay. You can have your woman back, dude. Although if she's pregnant with Venable's child, that could be a problem. But, I just thought about this. When we see Darius again, when Scott gets there, he does have a beard, so maybe it has been a while. Maybe it can't be his. Who knows? But what I think what they're saying with this is that the time it's assumed that they had sex after the dad is thrown in a dungeon. She did it as a way to seduce him, to kind of knock him out to sleep or whatever. And so I think what they're trying to say is that's when she got pregnant. So maybe it is his, but still, a sequel idea they could have saved that for a sequel idea. Like, she's pregnant, and like the first thing they could have is her giving birth, and she thinks that they're surrounding her or something. I don't know, but I still think it's bullshit that they found her that quickly, you know. But I gotta say, this was actually pretty good. It's out of the frying pan, that's for sure. What do I give it? I think I'm gonna give Wrong Turn 2021 a 6 out of 10, because it's decent. I think it's pretty good. I think it's better than most of the original Wrong Turn films, so I highly recommend it. So what are your thoughts on the Wrong Turn reboot remake 2021? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Excuse me. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one.